Hey everybody, it's Travis speaking. Today we're going to take a quick look at FormIt 360, and as you can see I'm in a browser. FormIt 360 is browser based and you can use it on a tablet as well if you have an iPad or an Android tablet. So that's one of the big powerful features, is that you can actually take this to a site. It's a web app and it's pretty powerful to get you started with a project. So as you can see, I've named my sketch Manitoba Street, and I've got a small ribbon here across the top with some tools to start my model and some model diagnostics and visual settings here. And then I've got my navigation tools along the right. You've also got some options for properties, for materials, and you can set up levels for your project as well, just by simply clicking on Add Multiple Levels. And quite simply, you can just add the number and then the distance between them, and then after the fact you can modify those levels and those heights just by clicking inside that field. You've also got an option for content library, so you need the converter, the FormIt converter for that, and then you can take SketchUp files, you can take RFAs from your existing Revit library, and you can start to populate your scene as well that way. And then this last icon right here is share, and this is really powerful. It allows you to start a sharing session, and anybody that you know that has a FormIt 360 license can join you in the drawing session, whether they're on a tablet or whether they're on another computer. So that's pretty cool. You can just send an email with this link, and when they click on that, they'll come in here into your session. You can actually have a little bit of a chat with them as well. So that's pretty neat. So let's get started. I've said Manitoba Street here. Let me just go up to the locations, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Manitoba Street, and I want that to be in Toronto. So let's see if it'll grab it for me. Okay, so it brings it down to Manitoba Street. Now the reason why I chose Manitoba Street is because there is an area right in here that's just begging for development. So by selecting the area, I can get a good idea as to the overall site. So once that's done, I can say import satellite image, and I'll just recalibrate what I'm grabbing here. And this is the area here that I want to grab, this rock pile here of undeveloped property. So once I've got that crop region selected, I can say finish import, and you'll see it brings in a slice of that map for me. So right now I'm in a 3D view, and to just start sketching I'm going to come up here to the view top, and this gives me an orthographic view of the site where I can start using my draw tools to create a mass. So to do that, I'm just going to come up here to this pen tool. You've got a rectangle, circle, arcs, and splines. So although this isn't the complete tool set of draw tools you might see in some of the other programs, FormIt isn't meant to replace AutoCAD or Revit. It's just to do some quick massing studies and get a form that you can use inside of Revit. You can also apply materials, as I mentioned earlier, which is actually a really quick way to get some conceptual design. So let's just start drawing here. You'll notice that I get some snaps, and when I start drawing, I'm able to kind of snap in place. It grabs along the grid line, and then once you're done selecting an endpoint, you can come over and click into the dimension field, and then you can give it hard dimensions as well. So I can say that that's 200 feet, and then it'll shorten it up for me. So if I wanted to just make something simple here, let me just see. I'm just gonna draw something quick, and see that it's just short of my line here. So what I want to do is just make sure that I've got this line, and then I can come in after and grab this one and then pull it over to that other endpoint. Okay, so as you can see, it's not quite as easy, I guess, of drafting as you would if you were used to AutoCAD. But once you spend a couple minutes, it actually starts, it develops really quickly. It's a really shallow learning curve, and you're able to create forms quite quickly. So you can see it's giving me a temporary dimension. I got 60 feet in here, and I think I put in 10 levels before. So now, once I actually have the form selected that I want, I can apply those levels. I'm just going to add a little bit more geometry here before I do that. Let's just bring it across, and we'll bring it like that. So now, let me just select this, and just going to redo this line here. Okay, so now that I've created this new region, you can see that I can select that or this other one as a face. It automatically bisects it for you, and that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So now I can start extruding this up a little bit further, and again, anything that you could right click on a face, and you've got options like the tilt, offset, and these all happen very quickly. So just to give you an example of that, I just put the offset on that face, and now I can either push that in or bump that out, and you know, it's all happening very quickly. So this is just a kind of a quick preview at creating a mass in FormIt. You can also take a look at some of the other tools. You've got some standard primitives in here, and you've got your Boolean options. There's an option for sweeping and lofts, and you've also got this cover one here as well. So if you ever do remove a face by accident, you can just add in the extra lines and then use this tool here. You've got options to group as well. And then this is pretty neat. If you apply the shadows, you can start to see how the sun is going to play across the site at different times of the year and different days, or sorry, different times of the day. You've also got an option in here as well for visual styles, snap to grid, display dimensions. So you can explore some of these things. Units, you can change that from imperial to metric. But one of the ones that a lot of people like is this sketchy lines with the extended edges. And then it gives you kind of more of a sketched feel. And you can see that when you start to actually modify these sketches, you know, it gives you almost like this animated look. And I don't know, it's just really fun to use, as well as being like a powerful design tool. Right? So you're seeing forms start to take place really quickly, really easily. And now once I'm done and I want to, say, use this as a starting mass object in Revit, all I need to do now is come up here to the top and I say save sketch. When I save the sketch, it's going to save it to my A360 drive, and then it saves an RVT to come along with it. So at that point, I'll have to wait a couple minutes, but then I can go over to my A360 drive, and you'll see that there's some other files coming in. So if I hit reload, in my FormIt folder, I should have Manitoba Street RVT and .axm. .axm is the file extension for FormIt. So if you see anything with that in the upcoming months, you're going to know that you're dealing with a FormIt file type. So there's a little bit more that we can get into. I'm going to explore that in another video, so stay tuned. And what we'll do, we'll take a look at some of these import and export features, as well as how to add the levels and putting in some content as well from your Revit library. So stay tuned for that, and hope you enjoyed this first introduction video for FormIt. If you have any questions, leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching. Bye now.